Hello, everyone. Today, we will learn about Task 3, the basis and procedures for budget preparation of fire protection water supply and drainage engineering construction drawings. In this lesson, we will primarily focus on three aspects: the basis for preparation, the methods of preparing the construction drawing budget, and the procedures for preparing the construction drawing budget. Firstly, the basis for preparing the budget for fire protection water supply and drainage engineering construction drawings includes 1. National, industry, and local regulations. 2. Budget quotas issued by relevant project cost management organizations. 3. Construction drawing design documents and related standard atlases and specifications. 4. Project bidding documents, contracts, agreements, etc. 5. Local labor, materials, equipment, etc. 6. Construction organization design and construction scheme. 7. Project management model, contracting model, and construction conditions. 8. Other information that should be provided. Next, we will learn about the methods for preparing the construction drawing budget. First, the fixed quota unit price method. This method uses a pre-compiled list of unit prices for subdivided works to prepare the construction drawing budget. According to the construction drawing design documents and budget quotas, calculate the quantities of subdivided works in sequence, then multiply by the corresponding fixed unit price to determine the cost of labor, materials, and machinery for each subdivided work. Summarize the costs of labor, materials, and machinery for each subdivided work into the total costs for the unit project. After summarizing, add enterprise management fees, profits, regulatory fees, and taxes to generate the construction drawing budget for the unit project. Finally, summing up the costs of all unit projects gives the general project budget estimate. Second, the bill of quantities unit price method. This method calculates the cost of a project using comprehensive unit prices based on the National Unified Rules for Quantity Calculation. The comprehensive unit price currently adopted in China's Bill of Quantities pricing includes partial costs. The unit prices for subdivided works, measures items, and other project components have integrated the costs of labor, materials, and machinery, as well as corporate management fees, profit, and a certain range of risk expenses. However, these unit prices do not include regulatory fees and taxes, thus they are considered partially comprehensive unit prices. The total price is obtained by multiplying the quantity of each subdivided work by the partial cost comprehensive unit price and then adding up, followed by adding project measures fees, other project fees, regulatory fees, and taxes to generate the contract price for project tendering and contracting. Third, the physical quantity method. The physical quantity method is based on the division of projects and the rules for calculating quantities according to construction drawings and budget quotas. It first calculates the quantities of subdivided works and then applies budget quotas to prepare the construction drawing budget. Using the physical quantity method to prepare the construction drawing budget mainly involves first calculating the actual quantities of subdivided works, then applying the consumption indicators for labor, materials, and machinery from the budget quotas to each part, summing them up by category to determine the total consumption of labor, materials, and construction machinery required for the unit project. Each part is then multiplied by the current prices of labor, materials, and machinery to obtain the costs of labor, materials, and construction machinery use. These are then summarized and totaled. The calculation of enterprise management fees, profits, and other costs is determined based on the supply and demand conditions of the local construction market at that time. Regarding the preparation procedures for the construction drawing budget, the first step is to prepare materials and familiarize oneself with the construction drawings. This involves gathering various materials such as construction drawings, construction organization designs, construction schemes, current building installation quotas, fee standards, unified rules for quantity calculation, and regional material budget prices. On this basis, thoroughly understand the construction drawings, comprehensively analyze each part and sub-item of the project, fully comprehend the construction organization design and construction scheme, and pay attention to key factors affecting costs. The second step is to calculate quantities. Quantity calculation generally proceeds as follows. 1. List the parts and sub-items of the project that require quantity calculation based on the project content and quota items. 2. According to a certain calculation sequence and rules, list the calculation formulas for the quantities of each part and sub-item. 3. Substitute the design dimensions and related data from the construction drawings into the calculation formulas for numerical computation. 4. Adjust the units of measurement of the calculation results to match those corresponding to the parts and sub-items in the quotas. The third step is to apply the quota unit prices and calculate the costs of labor, materials, and machinery. After verifying the quantity calculation results, use the unified subdivisional work quota unit prices of the region to calculate the total price of each subdivided work, summing up to obtain the total cost of labor, materials, and machinery for the unit project. The fourth step is to prepare a bill of quantities analysis table. Based on the actual quantities of each part and sub-item of the project and the labor and material quantities listed in the budget quotas, calculate the required amount of labor and materials for each part and sub-item, then sum up to determine the total amount of various types of labor and materials needed for that unit project. The fifth step is to calculate other fees according to the pricing procedure and summarize the cost. Calculate enterprise management fees, profits, regulatory fees, and taxes based on the specified tax rates, fee rates, and respective bases for calculation. Accumulate these fees and add them to the costs of labor, materials, and machinery to determine the budget cost of the unit project. The sixth step is review. Conduct a comprehensive review of item listings, quantity calculation formulas, calculation results, applied unit prices, adopted fee rates, numerical calculations, and data accuracy to promptly identify and correct any errors, thus improving the accuracy of the budget. The final step is to write the compilation instructions and fill in the cover page. The compilation instructions should primarily state the scope of the project included in the budget, the construction drawing numbers relied upon, the contracting method, the current price adjustment document numbers from relevant departments, issues that need supplementary explanations regarding applied unit prices, and other matters that require clarification. The cover page should indicate the project number, project name, total budget cost and unit cost, the name of the compiling entity, person in charge, and compilation date, as well as the name of the reviewing entity, person in charge, review date, etc. That concludes our lesson for today.